The young man charged in a murder-for-hire plot in Miamisburg will now spend the rest of his life in prison. This morning, Cody Henderson made a surprise plea admitting that he stabbed his stepfather Charles Zahn to death in 2009. Now, that crime was originally called in as a robbery by Henderson's mother, Pandora Zahn, who claimed the two men broke into their Miamisburg home and killed her husband. But investigators later unraveled the plan and found that Mrs. Zahn concocted the whole thing in order to collect her husband's insurance money. Tonight, Zahn is serving life in prison, and her son will soon be joining her behind bars. Megan O'Rourke was in court today. She's live with details of today's plea agreement. Megan?
Mark, the sentencing for today's surprise plea deal just ended a few moments ago here at the Montgomery County Courts building. Now, Henderson, as you mentioned, was scheduled to go on trial later this month on June 20th, but instead he struck a plea deal with prosecutors that took the death penalty off the table.
As to the charge of aggravated murder in that count, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, that was 21-year-old Henderson in court earlier today, pleading guilty to all charges, including aggravated murder, aggravated robbery, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence. He also admitted to the death penalty specifications, that he committed murder for hire and that he did it while committing aggravated robbery. In exchange for his plea, Henderson will not be sentenced to death, but a panel of 3 judges still had to decide how long he should spend locked up. This afternoon, they heard from several experts who testified about Charles Zahn's brutal death in which he was stabbed more than 40 times. For Zahn's family members, the graphic details were both disturbing and infuriating. At one point, one of them stormed out of the courtroom in disgust. But investigators tell me everyone, family, police, and prosecutors all agreed on the plea deal and say it will allow everyone to begin to heal.
Well, as I think anybody can imagine, the victim is not just the person in this case. The victim is every member of the family that loved him. And they do. I think this helps give them closure now. Both defendants have been convicted and found guilty. I think they have closure now. I can't really speak for them, but I think this gives them an opportunity to try to put up the pieces as best as anybody can and go for it.
Now, again, Henderson was sentenced to life in prison plus 15 years, meaning he will never again be a free man. Reporting live, Megan O'Rourke, 2 News on your side.